Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the My LIV Golf podcast. Thanks for joining us wherever you are around the world. We really do appreciate it. If you are liking what we're doing, please hit like, share, subscribe, all those wonderful things. That helps this podcast get into the earballs of earballs. I'm not even sure there is a thing called an earball. Mike's waiting on. We've got a special episode. We obviously had our Keezer episode and Rockets Away in the States on secret internet business. So Mike and I are just catching up. It's Thursday night. He may or not have had a couple of glasses of red wine. Me not. Diet Coke for me. Mike and I are catching up. We've got a special episode. I think he's got a name for it. It might be called This or That. I'm actually not sure what is going on. Mike's got an idea. We're going to run with it. He hasn't given me any notes, and that's very unlike Mike. If you know Mike, his notes, scripts, and he is the organised one, as you've heard us say many times before. There are no notes. So I don't know what's coming up, but let's get into it. Mike's there waiting. Hello, Mike. If that introduction was a bit all over the place, just because you've thrown me, you've called a special general podcast and you've said, I'm not telling you what it's all about, but you better tell us what it's all about because I'm excited. Yeah. I don't know really what's going on.
Well, we weren't going to do a podcast with the Rocket Man travelling, so only really a LIV event last week and not much else in the golfing world going on. But then we were having a chat about some of the things we can talk about down the track or some different ideas, and I come up with an idea.
Okay.
And I said, I think I just sent you a message. Said, I've got an idea for a podcast, and we're both free tonight. So this is it.
Well, we have spoken about, adding some other spice into the podcast platform, not just the week in, week out golf chat. We had the Keezer episode. Thank you, Mike, for sharing your Keezer experience. Have to laugh. What you know what I'm laughing about?
No, I do.
In the week, unfortunately, where we lost one of the golfing landscape's great entrepreneurs, Herb Kohler, who did so much for putting destination golf on the map all around the world. Herb Kohler is the owner of the Old Course Hotel. We lost Herb, so Vale to Herb Kohler. But on the week that we lost one of the big names like Herb, everyone thought we were talking to Mike Kaiser, and it was Keezer training. So no, in the German, obviously, if you've listened, Keezer is a K-I-E. That makes an E sound, not Kaiser, which is K-E-I, as in Mike Kaiser. So no, we'll try and get the Kaisers on one day because, geez,
people clearly want to hear it.
I would love to listen to Mike Kaiser, but also his son. Who I know someone who's actually caddied for Mike Kaiser's son up at in Chicago. Anyway, you never know. Mike, what are we actually doing?
Well, I had to think about it of things we could talk to in regards to golf and little things that might be a bit different. And I thought it might be good to play a little game. And the game would be, I call it This or That. And I'm going to give you two options. Some of them I've got maybe three. I've got a handful of things here to talk to. And you can tell me which one you prefer is the best way to describe it, right? And the easy ones are easy and some of them might be a bit harder. So some of them will be quick answers and there'll be no-brainers, and some of them I know your answers and some of them I don't. Or as in like I assume I know your answers. And then, we can talk to a couple of them. I think it might be interesting. It might be funny. And I'd be interested to hear from the listeners some of their answers too.
This is dangerous because my propensity to go off on a tangent, talk about things, come back to it, and maybe talk about it again. Is that going to be a problem?
No, that's fine. That's fine. So there's 25 or 30 of them,
right?
And we might come up with some more in the middle, but it'd be interesting.
Is there a buzzer?
A little insight into you and me, I suppose. I'll have my answers as well.
Okay, so you're going to ask me something, and my answer is I either do this or I do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, effectively. You'll get the gist of it pretty quickly. It's not hard.
Okay. So it's not a LIV Golf podcast. We're not talking about LIV Golf. I feel a bit bad leaving LIV Golf out. Like,
yeah,
I watched a bit of it. I enjoyed what I watched. I thought it was far better a product from a golfing perspective than it has been with the introduction of the new talent.
Yep.
Certainly Cam just going straight in and going bang and missing out in the playoff by a shot. The fact that there was a playoff, so it meant that there was obviously it was tied at the end. Had a couple of big names. Obviously DJ winning. Love to see Anaban Lahiri, step straight in. A lot of people, your friends at the No Laying Up podcast, basically just put a line through Anaban Lahiri and said, he's no loss, doesn't matter, gone, see you later. And just said that he's a marketing piece to get access to one of the biggest populations in the world. Maybe that's part of the strategy or not. LIV Golf is clearly going for a rest of the world strategy, but then putting everything into America. Anaban Lahiri, one of the greatest Asian continent golfers in the history of the game, sticks it right up to some of the best golfers in the world. It was great.
Yeah.
I loved it. Loved seeing Anaban Lahiri.
He should have won. He should have won.
Yeah,
he makes that eagle putt on 18 and it's over.
Yep.
I was the same. I watched being in Melbourne, obviously for people around the world, the coverage was finishing around 8 a.m. our time, I think, each morning. So I kind of watched the last hour and a half each day. I think that the production's isn't bad. Like, it's pretty slick. I do like the use of the drones. I think we talked about that. Either if I did put it on Twitter, we might have talked about it on the podcast from the Tour Championship. They showed a great view from a drone sitting up above 18 at the Tour Championship, and they're quite good with that sort of stuff. That's quite good for the coverage. They've obviously got the caddies mic'd up. Didn't stop Faraday from talking over the caddies when they were trying to talk through a shot, which was really, really good. Made me feel like I was watching the PGA Tour game. But yeah, I still don't. I get the rationale behind the shotgun start, and I'm not trying to be an old fogey, but I just don't love it. I don't love the fact that, as an example, Lee Westwood was right in it in the final round, shot an amazing, I think he shot 64 or something. And you had DJ, who'd been leading from the day before, who was going to finish on 18, but Westwood was in the mix, but he was finishing on 2. And I was like, I get it, but it was, I don't know. And I know it's probably me, as much me as it is the product, getting my head around it. But yeah, I think that, imagine you had an event where it was 10 blokes in the mix and you had them spread across 5 or 6 different holes. Like, it'd be madness. And it's just, that part I think it takes away. I think it takes away from the crescendo of the event. And I get that there's a really good start to the event because everything starts at once and happens at once, and it's a set time zone and a timeline of how the event's going to happen. But I just think I still don't think that bit works. And one of the things the other guys, I felt like they were reading our Discord channel, the No Laying Up guys. One of the other things I didn't love, which I mentioned in Discord this week, was the teams thing isn't horrendous, but they have to do a proper draft. Like, you can't have 3 of the best players and Pat Perez playing on the one team. They're going to win every week. Yeah. If they're not, they're going to be in the mix every week. It doesn't really work. But from more reports, that's going to change up next year with hopefully some new names and logos, and it'd be a bit more of an actual competition. Yeah,
one of my thought buckets, of how this whole thing evolves, whether it's PGA Tour or LIV, having that team structure where you just go along the OWGR and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it just works back around, so it's evenly spread. Whatever. My thoughts always go to, how does this extrapolate into something bigger? Like, everyone's asking what's happening to the people that have been shunted out. A couple of Australians in there that have been sort of shunted out. Are they gone? Is that them just cut from the flock and they're off doing what they can or can't do now that they've played for LIV? Who knows? Or is there a potential for them to come back? Like, I would, if I'm LIV, I'm going after the Corn Ferry Tour players. I'm trying to get them involved, and then I'm trying to see how I can expand the LIV concept to make it a day-long event of golf, whether there's a morning shotgun start and an afternoon shotgun start, and that draft, like that bottom tier, that Corn Ferry group of players who are vying to make it up into the big field, where there's some more money or whatever, they're in there. And, they're part of this team. They're like the reserve. It's like the reserves, the first in the reserves. And I'm just trying to pick all of that Corn Ferry talent and attract some of those guys across, because we all know there's some super golfers, better golfers there than are on the PGA Tour.
Yeah. Look. No. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Nah, there are some good golfers there. I don't hate the idea at all, But I don't think they'll do, like, I think that they're, for them, they see themselves as these are the best, players in the world. And they don't care about the rest of it. The rest of it will be the Asian development tour. But I don't hate the idea of,
well, bring that, like just I don't know, add something different. Anyway, that doesn't matter.
Well, even Formula One's got test drivers. You know what I mean? Like they got someone else on the team.
And you go to Formula One, there's a day's program full of racing.
Yeah.
You go to Superbikes, there's a day's program full of racing. Yeah. Everything has a day's program full of racing. So if it really is leaning into that entertainment spectacle, but it's revolved around golf, well then, give people a day's worth of golf to go to and work towards that. And of course, maybe that's the plan, Greg. If you're listening, Mike's available. We can let you into the Discord channel because all the answers are already in there a week in advance. And if you want to learn anything else about the LIV Tour and what the Americans think, go and listen to No Laying Up. They've spent 2 hours talking about it. They're very, very American centric. They do a great job of podcasting, and they really are the beacons of what we all want to be and achieve. But jeepers, this week's episode was very, very, very American centric.
I think. Yeah, you bang on. I think the one person, I think DJ does okay, but I think the one person that's probably either speaking to some more Aussies or people from around the world is Tron. He does interject here and there with some thoughts of, I know he mentions the Australian Open a little bit, about the fact that there is golf outside of the US. The lens that they have is very, very American. I don't think they would, but I think they really need to get somebody on from outside of the US or Europe to talk to what the vibe is for LIV. Because like I said the other week, I know a lot of people that are enjoying it. Now, I don't know whether they're watching the YouTube. They are absolutely hell-bent on talking about it on socials because they can't wait. And they're also hell-bent on getting to the first event when it's in Sydney, if it's in Sydney. So, yeah.
Anyway, that's enough. That's not what we're here to talk about. We're 12 minutes in. So this or that. This is maybe if this is a thing, and this or that could keep going.
Or if anyone's got any ones that we don't go through, send them in.
Oh, well, I'm ready for this or that.
All right. Well, we're going to start off with a few softballs. So they're I think they're easy questions, but you might have a different answer.
Wooden tees, plastic tees. That sort of thing?
Well, yeah. Well, there you go. There's the first one. Wooden tee or plastic tee?
Please. See, this is the problem. I use both.
Is there one that's specific that would use? Like par threes, I use this. Par four, driver, I use this, or no?
No. Par threes don't use a tee. I will use a plastic tee, but they'll use a plastic tee that is in the shape of a wooden tee. So it has to be one of those thin profile ones. I won't use one of those big banger or plastic things that you need a jackhammer to get into a lot of the ground. But like we went to New South Wales the other week and they had complimentary tees. I may have availed myself of an extra handful. Oh, really? They're free. Oh, okay. I may have went back for a second go, and they're plastic, and I'm happily use them. But every tee that's in the golf cupboard just here beside me, there it is. There, they're all wooden ones. I've got a box full of. I like to get those special ones. Those I think a lot of people do these days. The ones with the colours on them.
Yeah.
I've got the Golfers Journal ones in there. I've got the Random Golf Club ones in there. I've got all the ones that I've pinched from Muirfield and all those places. So they're all wooden tees. So if I buy tees, they're wooden. If I use them for plastic, that's fine.
I'm somewhat similar. So I'm pretty much 95% wooden tees. But I have to admit, I've been using some tour tees. Tour tees?
Oh, yeah, tour tees.
Lately.
Paul Sheehan's tour tees, yes.
Paul Sheehan's tour tees. And because I keep buying boxes of caddy snacks, every time you buy a box, you get a tour tee in there. I've got a handful of those as well. So that's a good one. Good one to start.
So that's what this or that's all about.
That's all it's going to be. It's going to be this or that.
Oh, there you go.
I think I know the answer to this one. I think this will be a quick one. So walk or cart?
Walk, 100%.
Anywhere you definitively get a cart? Like for me, I'm with you. It's always walk. But as in somewhere like Ocean Dunes, I have to get a cart because it's about a 12K loop because I want to get around and play as much golf as I can.
Yeah, for sure. When it makes sense to take a cart and, it's obvious that you need it to get for, 500 meters between tees and that sort of thing. Yeah, that's fine. Equally, I'm not offended these days when I have to take a cart and it really is a walking course. I played golf yesterday at Flinders. Give Flinders a miss for a moment because they've just sanded their greens, as many courses have at this time, but they're very sanded. So, go in there in a couple of weeks and it'll be pure. It was very good otherwise. Don't worry about that. But I played with Andy Naboo, Socceroos, Melbourne City, developing golfer, loves golf, passionate about golf. Those guys, when they're in this pre-season phase of their training, heavy workloads, always want to take a cart when they play golf, obviously for their sporting reasons. And I'm not offended by it. I'd rather walk. But what I tend to do is just jump out a little bit earlier and go for a walk. And I try and still do a bit of that sort of stuff. But it doesn't offend me. Played New South Wales last week in a cart. I was actually pretty happy about that because it poured down rain.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. And with my back, I always walk. And I quite like the fact that the buggies of the carts driving my clubs around. Which leads me to the next question. If you are walking, which I knew you would be, are you carrying or have you got a push buggy?
Well, no, I carry only for my sort of Sunday afternoon 4 to 6 to 9 hole loops, the little fun sort of game. Or in Scotland, I'd carry there. So when I'm over there with the small bag, I'll carry. That's easy. But no, Peninsula Kingswood, I'll have a buggy. And do I need to announce I've changed to my buggy setup?
Yeah, if you've got one, for sure.
Remote control battery.
You did not.
Maybe I did.
Yeah. Wow.
Remote control battery operated.
That was not a question. That was not a this or that.
No, there you go.
Well, I would not have picked that.
It's an extension of this or that. And you know what? Obviously, everyone knows what I do. I'm in the golf world and, I'm facilitating the dreams of golfers all around the country. The electric buggies have gone through the roof.
They have.
Power Caddy, Motor Caddy, MGI, they all do a good one. And people have gone nuts for electric buggies. And not just what you would have thought several years ago for the 50-plus category. We got the footy players using them. We've got young fellas. We've got ladies, girls. Everyone's using them. And it's only really can they come at the price if they want to accept the price of that technology to use it. But I'll tell you one other thing. Since using it, it's such a great experience playing golf because you feel like you've got a caddy. You don't have to worry about the encumbrance of a bag on your back, and you can just walk and you can stand up straight and you can stretch out. It's actually really good. Yeah,
they're not for me, but that's okay. Maybe they will be one day. I'm always sorry, not always. I'm not if I'm playing golf 18 holes. I've got my own little buggy that sits in the car. But for the sunset 9-holer daylight savings rounds, half set, I've always got the Seamus bag.
Yeah.
Normally a speaker on the side of it playing some sort of, as the doctor from marketing knows, some sort of hip hop from the 90s, 2000s.
The other, just to clarify, because if I've offended anyone by saying I've now joined the remote control buggy brigade, and I appreciate that some people do not want to do that and want to prolong that for as long as they can. The other thing, just for work-wise, I use it gives me the opportunity to put a little camera that I use for some of this golf photograph sort of work that I do now for drummer golf. I can put the camera in the, what's called the umbrella holder.
Yes.
So I don't need anyone to hold it or do that sort of thing. I can just put it there. And so it does help with a little bit of that. And I can put it in, all that sort of stuff.
No, those things help. Just takes weight off you.
Well, I've got to listen to that for you. I think you obviously just answered it. Music or no music?
That was going to be a this or that, but I didn't put it on there.
Obviously music.
It's music. So in a normal round, I've played with I play a lot of public or municipal golf, as some people call it, if they're in the States. And I'll join up with anybody. So I'll play a lot of golf just by myself. And it's amazing the sort of people that you cop that will play. I've played with guys that will have the horse racing going on a Saturday, playing off their buggy the whole time while they're playing, while they're listening to the races. And I've played with guys that want to put a Bushnell speaker or whatever they are on the side of their buggies and play music booming out of that. I am not against, but if you want to do it, that's cool. Just as long as it's not going to affect me, it's not going to be in the middle of my golf swing. No issues. But I would say no music, but if I'm going for a sunset hit of 9 holes, I'll have just something going in the background just for a walk, a bit of a decompression session.
Okay.
Yeah. You?
I'm no music. I think there's a time and place for it. I play at a course where there's no music. I don't think they allow music. I'm pretty sure. I actually don't know. But no, I'm fine with no music. I'm cool in my own headspace and thoughts, and just hearing the birds and listening for the butcher birds sounds, or the magpies, or whatever other birds I can hear, and sounds, and just I'm fine with that. But if you and I were together and you said I'm just popping the music on, and it's fun, I'm cool with that as well. It's not gonna put me off, because I'm able to get into that zone, right, where the music, it's like Tiger Woods' dad throwing golf balls. It doesn't bother me.
No, that's fair enough. I'm not there yet.
Except when I'm chipping.
I actually remember, slightly jumping off script, I actually remember Aaron Badley when he won, and this would have been maybe even 10 years ago, him saying that he was singing a song to himself the whole way around, and that helped keep him in the zone. He had it was a terrible song, whatever it was.
It's Taxi Ride.
Was it?
Yep.
There you go.
Because he's very good friends with Jamie Glazier, and Jamie may have been working with him at that stage, but it was definitely was Taxi Ride a band?
Yeah. They're from where I grew up.
Suburb
that I grew up in.
You always come to me. Whatever that song is.
The stuff that's stuck in our heads is frightening.
Is that song? Is that Taxi Ride?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I think it is.
Thanks don't ask me to sing it. Okay, what's next?
Hybrid or long iron?
Well, clarify long iron, but driving iron.
Driving iron.
Utility iron, driving iron. I call it driving iron, but I think technically in the product catalog they're called a utility iron.
Yeah. Well, you could carry a 2 iron.
Yeah, I've got an 18 degree Callaway Apex Forged utility iron at the moment. Really good.
Yeah.
But I also have that Callaway U wood, the utility wood, which isn't a hybrid. I don't call it a hybrid, but it's not really a wood either.
Like a little midway between the two.
Sort of like a cliquey type of thing. But long iron. And predominantly that for me is around ball flight. So I'm really looking for a type of ball flight with that club and ease of use. Like the days for me of hitting a blade of 1 iron or 2 iron are gone. Can't find the center that well enough. And the technology that exists in the modern utility iron is so good. You can hit it right across the face and still get an effective result. They come off low spin like a rocket.
Yeah.
You've seen Min Woo Lee hit those stingers with that club. Closer to be able to hit that shot with that type of club than a hybrid, which is designed to help it draw, stop the slice, pop it up nice and high. That's not what I need.
No, I'm both. So I actually carry both. I've got a Titleist 1 iron, which takes off like a rocket.
But it's more, I was talking about that club just yesterday with someone, and we were talking about that club, and it really does shoot it up high. It's more like a hybrid than anything.
Yeah, it is. It's frightening when you hit it how high it goes. Like people will be like, "Oh, what was that?" They just think it's a driving iron, and it's a 1 iron, and they go, "What?" Yeah, that went so high. It just takes off, and it's like you said, it's got no spin. So when it hits the ground, it'll run another 30 meters. It's unbelievable club. So then I also carry the Callaway hybrid.
Okay.
So I'm in the middle, but I don't carry a 3-wood because I hit driver off the deck. So we got an extra club to play with.
If you're only watching the podcast, only listening to the podcast, you're not watching the video on YouTube, which you can. There's a fair bit of head wobble going on there. I hit driver off the deck. Yeah.
It just means I can't hit a 3-wood very well. I'm very good at hitting the driver off the deck for some reason.
Yeah, and you know what? I can absolutely validate that. I've seen it. So yeah.
I hit one last week at Lonsdale. I think the hole is called Long. It's on the back 9. It's must be about 13. And I hit driver and hit it right in the middle, and then pulled out driver, and the boys I was playing with who I didn't know looked at me like, "Is that your driver?" And then I punished one down to about 5 feet off the green, which was really good, and then made a par. It was good. Next one, mallet or blade?
I
thought this one might be an interesting one for you.
Well, mate, I'm
Well,
captain. I am captain flip flop. I'm captain club change, and that just goes with the turf. But I look at the moment. I've gone back to a mallet. The reason why I went back to a mallet is because I started putting with my cousin's Odyssey 2 ball one round when I was in Scotland playing with him because I couldn't be bothered getting a putter out or something like that. I can't remember. I walked onto the green without my putter, used his, and I thought, oh, that went straight through pretty easy.
Yep.
And I had a blade, and I've come home and I've got a ping catch, which is probably the most stable ping mallet that they've ever made. I put that in the other day and the trip to Sydney, and it's working okay. But I had been putting with a blade prior to that. And I'll tell you, because I put the blade back in lockdown when I was putting here endlessly on the putting mat.
Yeah.
And I only putted with the blade because I told myself in my head, in my peanut brain, that you are a terrible putter and you can't putt with a blade, so you must putt with a mallet. And I really, like a lot of people, they like the blade shape, especially that Ping Ants, Scotty Cameron Newport too.
Yeah.
They like that shape and they want to putt with that. And they just have a little bit of a higgledy-piggledy missy weekend, and then all of a sudden that's back in the cupboard and the mallet comes back out. That was me. In, out, in, out, in. And it's just disastrous.
Yeah.
If you do that, stop it. Don't tell yourself you're a bad putter. Persist, go and do a bit of practice and find the center of the cup, rolling the ball in with your favorite putter and stick to it, because it's just technical. It's not the putter. It's the technical part that usually lets you down. Unless you've got to putt with the claws and do all of, side saddles, that sort of thing. Like if there's that's fine. Just stick with it. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've got a Ping Ansa putter here and a Scotty Cameron Newport 2 putter here, and neither of them have seen the light of day for 15 years. I've been a team mallet for a long time now. The original Ghost, TaylorMade Ghost, was what I went to for a long time, and then I went to the Jason Day Spider, and now I'm back on the Ghost Spider, whatever it is, which is my old putter from about 10, 15 years ago.
You've got the original Spider, the black, the white one, the big white
one. Yeah. So I'm back on that, and I'll put some extra weight in the back of it, and I love it. But I can't use a blade. I feel like I've got a paintbrush in my hand. Can't control it.
Just fun fact on that. Do you know who the designer of that Spider design was for TaylorMade? Still a name in putting, putter design, not with TaylorMade.
No.
Sean Toulon. There you go.
Oh, that's the one who makes the Callaway one now.
Yeah, Toulon putters. Odyssey Toulon obviously had a bit of a stint making Toulon design putters in the post TaylorMade era.
I'll have to look at those next up.
So that's why you see some of the Odyssey putters in that spider shape, and a lot of people said, they've copied TaylorMade. Well, it's a pretty successful model, the TaylorMade Spider, and still is in the franchise. The name is still part of the design, and the design is still part of the brand. If you have the designer that designed one of the most successful putters in the game, you're going to use that designer. You're going to lean in his expertise in making one of the most successful putters. So Sean Toulon, there you go. That's why I'm here.
This is one you chucked up. Stand bag or staff bag? Did you put that one up?
No, I didn't put it in. I didn't know. This was a surprise to me, this whole thing.
Stand bags for me. I think that's an easy one. Just because I do have a staff bag here somewhere, but no, too big to carry around these days.
Got a pink staff bag in there and a Strixon staff bag out the back.
Rocket's team staff bag.
Jeez.
Now this one, I don't know. I actually don't know this answer for you. Is it mark your ball with the texter or a pen, or do you use a special number, or is it neither?
When I do mark my golf ball, I would mark it with a line and a pen. I'd lose golf balls too often. Sometimes I don't even mark them these days. But yeah,
I mark mine the same way. I've marked my golf ball the same way for, again, 20 years. I found a golf ball one day. It was a brand new Pro V 20 years ago, one of the originals.
Yep.
And they'd marked this ball with a little smiley face, a bit of a weird little smiley face. And the next day I used it and played really well. So I've marked it the same way ever since. But now I've also double up with the Drummond Golf purchase of the Titleist 21's my lucky number. So I get my lucky number and I get to still put the smiley face on there.
Mike's talking about play numbers. So there are selected drum and golf stores around the country that sell play numbers. So you can get numbers 1 through to 99, a whole dozen. So if you like a 21, like Mike likes 21, he can come in and get the numbers that suit. 23 is a popular number. 7's a popular number. 99 is a popular number. 69 is a popular number. Don't know why. There's a whole heap of popular numbers that you can get. But if I had to say to you, Mike, just to throw that question backwards, if I did once behave in a very distinct manner and mark my balls religiously, even to the point where I had said marking printed, what was that marking for extra points?
It was the My LIV Golf logo.
No, this is pretty, like I've been playing. I'm a pretty old dude and I've been playing golf for a pretty long time. So it was well before My LIV Golf was even conceived.
It'd be like, I don't want to guess your football team, but it'd be, no. It'd be the Scottish flag.
Correct. Well done.
There you go.
So I worked out how to draw it that well that people would pick up my ball and go, "Oh, do you get the Scottish flag printed on there?" I was like, "No, I just draw it with a texter." And it's basically just the blue square, and then 4 coloured in triangles, and leaving the white cross. Pretty simple. So I could draw that pretty well, and I'd put a little flag stick on there. It was really nice. But then I did get some printed on there.
That would have been much easier, less time consuming.
And back then, that was when I was a member at Mornington. All the little young fellas that are now, probably half of them are golf pros, Ian Merritt and Alex Dudley Bateman, who's the fitter at Titleist now, and Aaron Grindle, they'd find them all in the rough on the bush when I'd lose them, and they'd come back and say, "I found your golf ball, mate. Found your golf ball." And I'd give them $2 for it, and they'd take it, and I'd get my golf ball back.
Bargain. Bargain.
Sorry, another fun fact.
This one, you know what? I was going to put a third option in, but I'm only going to give you 2 options, and I don't know which one you're going to pick. PGA Tour or LIV? Because I've put DP World Tour in there. You would have gone with that.
So the this or that on this is
your preferred.
No, LIV Tour's not that far down the road to say.
Doesn't matter. You can only watch one from now on. Which one is it going to be? And I'll while you're thinking, I'll preface that when I was in drum and golf yesterday, it was on the big screen.
Yeah, well, that's all it was on. It's on KO. No, it was on YouTube. Sorry, no, it wasn't. It was on YouTube. Oh dear. Well, based on my desire to see things grow, evolve, change, and things become better, different, and accept the fact that they go through a period of uncertainty or a period of newness, and that is what leads to a better product, I'm going to say LIV.
Did you see Rory today talk about the future of the PGA Tour?
Mate, I saw. No, I didn't see that.
But someone asked him about, you've talked a lot about the PGA Tour and how LIV's affected it, but you haven't really given us insight as to how this is going to help the DP World Tour. And he effectively said, and people can look up the interview, but he effectively said, "Yep, I get it. And what will happen in 2023 will be a bridge to what we want to execute in 2024. And I think people will be a lot happier with what is coming, and you will see the best players playing against each other more often and playing each other in this part of the world more often." It sounds like not a world tour, because I'm sure they're not coming to Australia anytime soon, but it sounds like they're going to try and make a PGA Tour schedule where there's going to be a little bit more happening in the European portion, which sounds good. And
if that's what happens, like, you
can't come back. You chose LIV. Done. You're finished.
But I don't want to be painted as a guy who's like likes LIV for all the wrong reasons. No.
Only reason I knew that one would be a thinking one for you is because you've said, and not in a political way, you like the fact that it all starts and it's there and you can just watch it, and it's different viewing.
There's been a fair bit of focus on Rory with all of the comments he's made around talking to his old teammates, old tour mates, or not talking to them, more to the point. And, hey, Rory, what happens if it's you or a LIV player on Sunday, coming down the stretch, and little silly quips like, well, they might get tired because they haven't been playing 72 holes. All that sort of stuff. You saw the town crier, having whatever it was with Ian Poulter. They could have been talking about West Ham and Arsenal. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
I think
he's like, he is like, he's played in the DP World Tour 6 times or something like that.
Well, he's a defending champ.
I get that. I
think for him, it's everything he said you can't disagree with, but I think John Rahm said it better. John Rahm said, look, Westwood, Sergio, Poulter, these guys have played this event forever. I'm not getting on them to play here. But Taylor Gooch and Answer, you've never been here before. You've never made any interest in playing this tour before. You're really only here to take advantage of a spot that someone else that does play this tour could have been in. And I don't agree with it. And that, for me, was the perfect answer. Billy's just, I don't know, probably reading from the PGA Tour script a little bit too hard, I think.
Billy was making sense until they started asking questions about money and that sort of thing. And he started to get a bit wobbly in his response there. Yeah. It still made sense. But anyway.
You've led me perfectly to the next question. 72 holes or 54 holes?
54 holes.
54, okay. Yep. I actually don't like 54. And I might be thinking from a Mike's data lake perspective, I'll put it that way. But if I've got a guy who's started poorly in a 72-hole tournament, I'm a bit more comfortable with the fact that they might be able to make the ground up versus 54.
I get that.
Match play or stroke? And it doesn't mean you can't have the other. It's like preferred.
Match
play. I don't. Yeah, you know what? I'll probably say match play as well. Now this one's for you, not to watch, but to play. Par or Stableford? Now, I don't know if everyone would people know what people that listen in Australia would know what Par and Stableford. Would everyone else know?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I'm not going to even try and explain it because it'll sound very poor.
Yeah, no, people struggle. New golfers that haven't played, those games struggle to understand it at the best of times. But I assume that most people know what Par or Stableford is.
Yeah.
If someone said we are banning Par for the rest of the golfing world from now on forever, you would not see a tear shed from my eye because that game smokes.
It is terrible.
That smokes balls. That game of Par.
I agree. I think it's the worst. I hate the fact that I will somehow play Par and I will birdie 3 holes for the day, and they'll be the holes that I get shots on, but I don't get anything back extra for it. So yeah, I'm very happy you said that because I couldn't agree with you more.
Well, it does punish low single figure players. It penalises them for a bogey, but doesn't reward them when they get a birdie streak or an eagle. There's no triple pluses or double pluses. So it can, but I actually did the exercise once because there was a lot of Par played over the winter months, and it's actually a bit of a thing because once you, like Stableford, once you can't score, you pick up.
Yeah.
So Par, you can't score after there's no 1 point. So it's one less shot that you play for the scorecard, so to speak, if that makes sense. So you pick it up. So that's why they played in winter a lot. But
I think the Americans don't play anything like this, but they're definitely
Americans play what they want. Like
they just play stroke. Everyone plays stroke.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's a gimme. Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Lots of money.
Hey, I'm gonna take a breakfast ball. Yeah, okay, Barry.
Would you believe? There's a question coming up for you. This one's. I actually don't remember this one for you either. Flag in or flag out? When you're putting.
Yeah. Oh dear, I'll never forget this. So it was with Shura actually. We're playing one of the first rounds when the flag in rule came into play, and I thought I actually don't mind the concept or the concept of flag in, it might help my putting. It might give me something to aim at, might give me just, a different feel. So I'm going to try this flag in. And we hadn't really got into the round, and the discussion came up. And and I'm in my mind going, I'm flag in. I'm going to flag in. Flag in is going to be awesome for me. This is going to help my putting. And then Shura goes, mate, if anyone's got a putt flag in, they've got to get a new group of mates. And I'm like, oh,
It's over.
Sorry, Shura.
And your putting never improved.
And then I was like, flag in, flag out. No, but right now, to answer that, I'm flag out on the shorter putts. But in the spirit of what that rule is intended to achieve, longer putts, I'll just putt with the flag in.
I'm the same. I'm 100% the same. And if the ball's teetering on the cup, I just tap it in. I don't care. But anything from 4 feet or in, flag has to come out. I can't tell you how many putts I've missed from 3 feet leaving that flag in because my brain automatically aims for the gap between the flag and the edge of the hole instead of aiming for the flag. It's all mental, but I hate it.
Yep. Yeah. No, I get that. That's probably me as well.
Now we're going to start getting to some controversial ones here. So
flag in, flag out. It's not controversial. Oh, dear.
That one's fine. And I had to narrow it down, this one. So Royal Melbourne West or Kingston Heath?
Kingston Heath.
Yeah, I would say Royal Melbourne West, but I didn't want to say Royal Melbourne instead in case we had thought of the composite because I didn't think that was a fair fight. Now I think I know the answer to this one pretty quickly.
Do you want to know why?
Yeah, well, tell me.
I like them both.
There's no wrong answer.
Yeah, they're really good. I'd actually choose Peninsula Kingswood North course up in front of both of them.
That's why I didn't put it on there, mate.
And criteria of difficulty isn't a criteria for rating golf courses or anything like that. But challenging golf is something, and golf when it's too hard, that becomes a little bit, punitive. But I just think that Kingston Heath makes you think about your golf shots a little bit more. It doesn't have the same width off the fairway. There is width if you know where you're going, but there's just a little bit more thinking. And I think Royal Melbourne, I've only played it off the back tees sort of once or twice. There's a lot of width there. And if you strike it on a generous day, you can tear the place apart. If the greens are firm, obviously that becomes more difficult, all that sort of thing. But it's just, I don't know. I just like Kingston Heath. I like them both. Probably Kingston Heath.
I really like them both. But to be fair, I haven't played Kingston Heath in a few years. I wouldn't have played it in 10 years now. So I'm probably to do that.
Magnificent. Played both in the last 12 months and both magnificent.
Yeah. Neither are going to be a bad day. Now, this one I think I know the answer to, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Barnbougle or King Island?
Barnbougle.
Barnbougle. Why?
I don't know. It struck that chord, that it pulled at that heartstring.
Yep.
That heartstring's only been pulled for me seriously 3 times in my golfing career. I've spoken about one of those places recently. That was Macrahanish. The other place that was probably the original heartstring pull for me was Lahinch. And, I was lucky enough that you took us to the town of Bridport for accommodation. We got to stay in Bridport, which wasn't on the property of Barnbougle last time.
Doc Marketing did that.
So we spent a little bit of time in the local community, and then we stayed at Barnbougle, and it's just got another level of heartstring pulling. It's just a lovely place to be in and around. You can't help but get in there and feel some form of golf relaxation ascend over you. And for me, that happened there. I've only been to Cape Wickham the once, going back there soon. It didn't happen like that. Now, I'm sort of that's separate to the golf course. Was your question about the golf course? My question was about King Island or Cape Wickham.
The trip. Yep.
Well, I very much put a big value on these places if I go there and how the golfing gods ascend over me and consume me. Yeah. My dad's going to listen to this and go, "What have I done? What have I created?"
Well, I would say Barnbougle, and I love King Island, and I love Cape Wickham, but I think Barnbougle as a trip is all encompassing. You don't have to move. You're on course. You got 2 of the greatest courses in Australia right there. Yeah, and I really, really like the sports bar at Bamboo. I could sit there and drink beers on that balcony forever.
Well, I've been there twice with you and been treated to two of the greatest sunsets in the history of sunsets.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Plus over the other shoulder where the sun wasn't setting, we had this sky that was
unbelievable sky, that pink sky.
Pink sky, and it was like nothing you've ever seen before.
Yeah, no, it's I said to you the other day, I'm in no hurry to go back because I've been half a dozen or 7 times. And you know what? Now I feel like I want to go back just after talking about it for 10 seconds. There you go. Tells you how good the place is.
If someone said, I'm picking you up tomorrow at Tyabb Airport in the Pilatus PC-12 from Air Adventure, making a special stop, I'd be there in a heartbeat.
Well, there's plenty of time left in the year. We could probably get home in a couple of weeks. No, I think I know the answer to this one as well, but this is probably a question that most people get asked, and I think Australians versus US versus Europeans all have a different answer. The Open or the Masters?
Open.
Yeah, I thought that was a quick one for you.
But I haven't been to the Masters. You've been to both, so it's a question for you. Open or the Masters? Mike, Open or the Masters?
I meant more which one do you want to watch more? Event to go to. They both have very different attributes. I would say I loved the Masters was Disneyland, and the Open was just an amazing experience. And I don't know how you can tell the difference, but yeah, the Open I love for the fact that you're plugged in, and like I said to you, it was 2017. So a Spieth v Kuchar going down the stretch, and there's Wi-Fi through the course, and I'm standing on the side of the 17th green with 5 other blokes watching my phone because we're basically watching him take the drop on the driving range 100 meters over that we can't quite see, and an amazing experience, and everyone's friendly and everyone loves their golf, and not that they don't at the Masters, but the Masters being so difficult to do, it's like standing around a few thousand people that are living out the biggest bucket list thing they've got. It's just a different vibe. So there's no bad answer there. So to watch, I would say I would probably choose the Open, but to visit, I would say the Masters.
So fair enough.
Split the difference. Now we're going to argue here. Pants or shorts? We're both religious to one.
Oh, well. Oh, dear. Do I have to get the spray tan back out? Look, my pants wearing run of summers, which will now be like in its 5th run coming into this summer, 5th year of summer with no shorts, was just really, you know what it was? If I think about it, what it was I got tan shamed on Instagram.
Oh, really?
That's the thing. Yeah, I got tan shamed.
Really?
By one of my colleagues. I was out for one of those late Sunday afternoon rounds. It was at Mornington. Yep. I was videoing whatever shot I was taking on the signature par 3. I thought I was doing pretty well. Had my white FootJoy icons on. I had my short white socks on. I had a grey pair of Travis Matthews shorts on. I still have them. I still fit into them many years on. I had a white polo shirt. I was very lightly coloured in the attire department. I was very lightly coloured in the leg department. And he tore sporty stripes off me. The whole, put the out of bounds markers away. So I was tan shamed, and it affected me.
I cop it the other way.
Oh,
because I only wear shorts all year round. Like I'm playing Saturday and it's raining, and I'll be wearing shorts. My legs are tattooed. Like from where my ankle socks finish, my feet look like I'm wearing white socks all the time.
Well, as the people who listen regularly know, but if the people who've listened tuning in, they've heard about this wonderful new segment called This or That, and they're coming to us for the first time, they will know that they won't know that my skin color origins from the Celtic department. So it's what hair is. You can see it there on the video. Ginger mustache, grey hair, nothing on top, and freckles and white skin. And Caridi is definitely not a Celtic name; it's Italian name. So, culturally, ethnically, you suit, your skin is suits the tan.
I do go, yeah.
No,
Once summer comes, it's different ball game.
But for me, in all seriousness, and sun cancer, skin protection is a legitimate thing in Australia, and as it is all around the world, but it's certainly more prevalent. And for me, being of that fairer skin, I don't wear shorts a lot, so I don't bother now. I just leave the pants on. And, that joke that we made last time when the Bucks party left spray tan in my shop and I wanted to go out one Sunday morning for a coffee in Mornington, I wanted to wear shorts. I used the spray tan. I'm unashamedly say at 50 years old, I used spray tan in my legs because I didn't want to be tan shamed in the main street of Mornington. So I sprayed my thing so I could wear shorts just to go out and get a coffee. But playing golf, I don't have to worry about covering my legs because I cover them up. And it's all good. But, you look at my hand there, left hand, no problems. Left hand, white as, because I wear a glove. I wear a glove. If this is a question, I'm going to answer it now. I wear a glove and I don't take it off. I putt with a glove. People think I'm weird. I putt with a glove. This hand here, well, there's no glove, right there, full of sun damage. Full of sun damage.
Yep. So to answer the question, that wasn't a question, but it's a good question. I wear a glove, obviously, but I take it off every time after I hit a shot. It always comes off, and if I leave it on, I feel completely awkward. It has to come off.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is weird.
Goes in the back right pocket. That's just where it goes.
Is that because you've picked that up in your, later to life golfer seeing the PGA Tour? Did you pick that up off them?
I actually, the reason why I always take it off is I will sweat through them. As soon as come summertime, I remember when I first started playing golf, I'd need nearly 2 gloves. I'd just sweat through them almost on the FootJoy glove. So now it just comes off so that it just stays dry.
Does it act as like a mental trigger when you put it back on? Is that your time to switch on? Do you do any of that sort of stuff?
No, I have heard Jamie talk about that, and I probably do need to start putting some of that into my game. I definitely do. But no, it doesn't. Is it John Rahm, isn't it, that opens and closes his
he does it. Yeah,
his glove. No, it's something that I need to do, but no, it's not it. It's for me, it's more just. You know what? It might actually be. The more I think about it, maybe it is that part of my preparation for the shot is to put the glove on because it has to come off. Has to. Can it? If I have it on for 2 steps after I've hit the ball, it feels awkward. It has to come off.
Yeah, interesting. For those that just want to backtrack over that whole John Rahm thing. So if you watch John Rahm, when he's going through his pre-shot routine, he's behind the ball. His eyes are for the target. He's looking, he's in his mind's eye, he's seeing the ball project out. And when he goes past that motion and he wants to step into the shot, the glove comes on and off, the Velcro, there's an audible sound. He slaps it back on and that's his go. After he's done that, he's into the shot and it's gone. And it really is, if you struggle in, making that transition from pre-shot routine into over the ball and you find yourself being consumed with thoughts over the ball, you've got to break that habit because that is a real contributor to bad shot golf. The pros don't do it. So try and find something that you step over the line. Tiger Woods would be step over the line, especially after a bad shot for Tiger. That's another story. But get that Velcro on and that's the switch. Flick the switch and then move into the shot.
It is a good routine.
Thank you.
While we're talking about SunSmart, cap or visor?
More, please. Cap.
Yeah, you're a cap man. I am. I actually probably similar to the glove, sweating through the glove. I massively struggle wearing a hat playing golf, and I should be wearing something because I have no hair at all. But the one hat that I do wear is a bucket hat. If I do wear a hat, but I can't wear a visor. I don't have the hair for it.
Don't you wear a peaked hat sometimes? You do wear a peak. You wear a normal hat.
If I wear one, like normally getting around I will, but playing golf, if it's summertime when I should be wearing a cap, I struggle. I'm dripping from wearing anything on my head. As soon as I take it off, I'm much less heat. Don't know how it works.
I get too hot. If I didn't have a cap on and I just went Sean's and put the sunscreen over the bald spot like you do, you shave everything off. Whatever's
Yep.
there, you shave it
Razor.
off. I just leave a little bit there.
Yep.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't put sunscreen over.
Different skin too, and I make sure to get my checks and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But spikes or spikeless?
So we're talking about soft spikes, the screw-in ones.
Spikes,
yeah.
No metal spikes.
It doesn't bother me. It's more.
No.
I'm more of a look of the shoe. I'll either like the look of the shoe, or won't like the look of the shoe. There was a period of time, in fairness, that I would not play in spikeless shoes because I'd convinced myself, my swing's too powerful. I need the connection to the ground, man. Because I'm generating so much torsional strength, so I need the grip. That's bullshit. So now I've got the Travis Q8, which is the same shoe that John Rahm wears, the Travis Matthew brand. And they're a soft spike. I've got a pair of those on, and they're one of the most comfortable shoes that I've worn either casually or on the golf course. I don't mind my feet not slipping, but I don't mind that little bit of give under the foot.
Yeah.
But I've got a pair of Q8 white shoes. They're the white ones that John Rahm would wear with soft spikes in them. Don't mind them either. Wore them yesterday. Doesn't bother me. But yeah, there are differences in golf shoes. The FootJoy icons, you can see them in the background there, the black ones there that are painted with the indigenous painting. Really nice shoes. They do give you a different level of grip because they've got a very structured bottom. Yeah. So if you do swing fast and you like that sort of feeling of grip, that structured bottom shoe might help you. If you like to feel your feet move around a bit and, you don't mind that athletic shoe fit, well, then go for the soft spike with a bit of athletic movement. You can get a shoe for everything. I will one thing that I picked up at the Open. I actually picked it up. It's here somewhere, but because I didn't know about this, I would have grabbed it out. I don't know where it is. Did you know that the pros still wear metal spikes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you hear them walk, but they have like a plastic around it to make it look like they're not wearing a metal spike, but then the center is just a piercing spike. Yeah.
So, your normal cleat looks like that. I picked one up off did I mention that I was in the Players Lounge at the Open? I might not have mentioned that.
Maybe, yeah.
Just outside there was a spike, and I picked it up because I thought, that's an interesting little keepsake, because Herbie wears metal spikes. He wears the metal spike with the. So it looks like your Scorpion spike, but it's got, as you said, it's got the metal spike in it. They still wear them.
Tiger definitely wears them, and Justin Thomas definitely wears them. I know I saw Adam Scott's shoes the other day. He definitely wears them too. It's quite weird because I don't understand. I've never, so like I came to the game much later, so I never wore metal spikes. So I don't understand the difference between the metal spike and the normal now spike.
Mate, because my first job as a 13-year-old was in a pro shop. I used to froth over the spikes. I had, when I was 17, I went to America, got those first ever FootJoy Premiers or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And I quickly got rid of all the steel spikes and replaced them with tungsten spikes. Oh, I was in heaven.
But so
tungsten, unwearable. Like they were just, I had eternal tungsten spike in the ground. It was beautiful.
But is your grip to the ground any different?
I got no idea.
No,
but I just
it is weird in this day and age, especially prior to they changing the rule around fixing spike marks. I'm sure speaking of John Rahm, I'm sure John Rahm blew up not that long ago about people still wearing metal spikes, saying, "I don't get it. Like, why do you keep doing this?"
Yeah, I don't get it either. He doesn't. His Q8, Travis Matthew Q8s, he just got the normal spikes. I checked it out. Yeah,
a little bit similar to one we've asked before, but extra wedge or extra metal, as in extra, wood, hybrid, whatever.
I'm taking extra wedge.
Yeah, I'm not good enough with the wedges. I've got the extra metal. Yeah, but everyone mixes it up. Phil carries 4 wedges, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, he won the Masters with 2 drivers, so he's a different cat.
Well, the fairways now go that long, and they cover such a breadth of shot making ability, especially what you and I carry, this Callaway Ultimate Wood. They just go so far, and you can make so many shots. So for me, it does sort of. I don't need the 3 wood, so I've dropped that out. So I don't have I carry 4 iron, and then I've got driver, Ultimate Wood, 2 iron, irons, and then 3 wedges. I could drop one of those out and have an extra wedge, but 3 is enough.
I've got nearly the same, but I've got the 1 iron instead of the 2, but one's going to come out because at the moment I got the UW this week. So thank you very much, Mr. Ross, for finding one of those for me, which I'm very excited to be hitting on the weekend. But something's got to make way. Haven't figured which one it is yet. I'll figure that out on the range.
On decisions.
Big decisions. Now, funny you said this before. Breakfast ball or range before you get there. So you got an 8 a.m. tee time. Are you playing mulligan or are you getting there 20 minutes early to hit a few balls?
20 minutes early, hit a few balls.
Yeah, I'm the same every time. This one's probably more an Australian-centric question, I think. My score or paper card for scoring?
I hate my score.
Hate my score. So
Yeah.
Club comp at PK on the weekend.
Yeah,
you've got
to have my score. You've got to use it. There's no other choice. But
really?
Yeah. But I would. I'd love. I don't mind keeping a card. I find my connection to thinking about the course and the game and the holes and everything else better when I've got that something to read and just sometimes stare at, just so I don't have to talk to someone or just think about. I just like the card. I just like writing on it, and I just like looking at it.
I'm not fussed about either, but I do have my score, but I'd probably, if I had to choose between the two of them, I'd probably choose the card, but then still utilize the leaderboard part of the my score app, which is good. Now, I don't know this answer for you either. Pie after 9 holes or muesli bar / caddy snack throughout the day?
No, 100% caddy snack throughout the day.
Mine too.
We once upon a time would go the pie, but it doesn't sit well with me anymore. It comes back to me.
No, I'm the same. And I'm learning more about eating and keeping the brain active through the round and eating every 6th hole or 5th hole just to make sure that I'm not half falling asleep playing golf. You burning energies.
Yeah, I'm still learning that part of nutrition and hydration. Water and I are a thing that are still getting to know each other.
Well, again, that's why you're the host. It's the perfect segue. Gatorade or water? Are you going to tell me Coke Zero or something, or Diet Coke?
Yeah, I would probably make the excuse of, there's some form of extra energy in the Coke, no sugar. So I would probably go for that, the caffeine part of it. I would go for that at the halfway hut at PK, my good man. Over the water, of course, there's a water fountain there and all of that sort of thing. So I drink water all around, but I'd go for the soft drink option. I wouldn't go for Gatorade. If there was only the choice of Gatorade, it'd have to be no sugar. I don't like those drinks with sugar in them. There's too much sugar. They're bad for kids.
You answered the question the same way I would. So luckily my wife works for the company that makes Gatorade. So I get Gatorade no sugar. So I get that for home, and then I grab a couple of those, and I've got my water bottle that I fill up at the water fountain. So I mix and match between the two, especially in summer. I'm trying to make sure I drink a bit of both, which is good.
Cool.
Now, tee times. Are you dew sweeping or are you half sets and sunsets?
Both. Preference.
You got to have a preference.
Yeah, end of the day.
Same. End of the day. Yeah. No, I'd much prefer to. I don't mind getting up and playing an early round here and there, but if you said to me, right, Saturday it's going to be 30 degrees. Did you want to get out early? Did you want to have 9 holes at 7 p.m.? I'd take the 9 holes at 7 p.m.
Yeah, no, that's me.
3 left. I don't know, but I don't think you'd have any. I don't think you do either of these, but we'll find out. One-on-one lessons, or are you watching YouTube / Rick Shields tips?
Oh, please.
Do you know how many people I speak to on the golf course?
No, I know.
They only get their lessons. Oh, I watched Rick Shields, or I watched this bloke, and I was watching these, so that they're out there.
Oh, I know. I make a living out of selling golf equipment to all people like that, and fair play. Like some form of instruction, and having an interest in learning and developing your game is better than nothing or having zero idea.
Yeah.
A lot of the newer golfers, are new golfers, and they've tried to craft a golf swing through copying their mates or friends. Then the next resort is, well, and sometimes it's out of embarrassment. Like a lot of people don't want to seek instruction because they're self-conscious about it and they think they should be better, especially if they're high achievers and whatnot. And they go to Rick Shields or any other sort of golf YouTuber who do a great job. Like those guys have built successful careers out of offering instruction. But the problem that I see is, and I see it a lot, is that they can't implement the concepts. They don't understand the concept to implement. Now, I'm not a golf pro, but I'm skilled enough in coaching and professional development. And as a golfer, I had enough coaching, done level 1 coaching certificate for golf and all that sort of thing. I can show someone how to get the right posture, the right setup, and tell them how to swing the golf club properly. One of the key central tenements, if that's the right word, of the golf swing is posture and alignment. And if you don't get those right from the start, you're really going to hide into nothing. And people can't implement the concepts without the guidance. And that's where the face-to-face coaching is so critical, because a good golf coach is just going to get you on that pathway of getting those basic tenements of the golf swing, posture, alignment, and basic swing playing, get you going on that before you try and work it out yourself. I'm playing yesterday with Andy Naboo, and now Andy in fairness, is getting lessons, but you can still see that he gets out of alignment, and it's just a continual process. You've got to put it into place. You've got to train it, but if you're training the wrong things, it's a recipe for disaster.
And that's the thing. I think if you're, and I don't remember who I was talking to, but someone I played with recently was talking about the fact that, and I said the same sort of thing, but they were saying, but they can give you, like, say, a bunker lesson. Oh no, it was Nick Serrano talking about bunker lessons, and they might be able to give you a tip, and I don't disagree with that. And they can give you a mental image of what you want to be trying to achieve when the path of the club through the sand and all that sort of stuff. That part, no dramas. But I think for people that are trying to hit a driver and they're saying, I need to be more laid off at the top, or I need to do this more, and I'm watching this video and that's what I'm going to go and implement. I think the two things that they need to probably assess is, one is, are you videoing yourself to see what your action actually looks like? And do you have the ability to then change that? And two, do you need to? Like the coach, the person you go and see will come and see you and say, this is what you do. This is how we're going to tweak it, because they're talking to you, not just to a generic golf swing. And I always say, I'm built more like John Rahm than I'm built like Dustin Johnson. So I'm not never going to swing a golf club like Dustin Johnson. So me saying, this is what DJ does, well, that's great. Well, I'm never going to be able to do that because I'm just we're not built the same.
If you are listening to this and you are someone who takes your own instruction off YouTube and tries to implement that, we're not meant to offend you here, but basically, I see a lot of this. I see a lot of people in the fitting bay, and they're trying to get fit and they're trying to not hit bad shots. That whole self-consciousness, and you can see them going through their little motions and rehearsals, and you can see the club coming way back on the inside. And I think I've proven it to myself a number of times. I'm not saying that good on you, Ross, whatever, but you can see them going from the inside, and then they try and swing from the inside, which just leads to a big over the top. From the inside there's no leverage, no power leverage, so they then put it over the top. And there's a number of times when I go, are you trying to work the club from the inside? Is your mind concept telling you to hit a draw comes from the inside? Yeah. And they start the club by pulling it way back. And basically, the laws of ball flight and the way that a draw and a fade works, you have to understand how that works. And I think it's very easy. A lot of people go, inside path, and they think they've got to take the club away right on the inside. And it just leads to this position where they can only make a move at the ball over the top, hit down on it, hit across the line. And they wonder why they get big whiffy slices, or they get pulls. Like the across the line will lead to a whiffy slice or a pull. And they say, my usual shape's a draw. And, my job is to politely correct them and say, well, a pull draw is different to a true draw. A true draw starts to the right-hand side of the target line and comes back to the center. It doesn't start to the left of the target line and draw to the further left. Oh, right. And anyway, it usually comes from getting the basic, a draw comes from the inside, so I've got to move everything to the inside and all that. It works different to that.
Agree.
Did that make sense?
No, it did. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've done all those things. Now, you're going to have to close your eyes for this. So I'm going to describe it to you, okay? These are the two options. You got to close your eyes.
Okay.
So, which one of these two things do you prefer? You're standing on the tee, and it's a par 5. You got the driver out, and you've absolutely launched this thing perfectly. It's taken off like a frozen rope, 300 straight down the middle, lands in the middle of the fairway and runs out a little bit.
That's every week.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's probably a little bit shorter than normal, but yeah, I'm with you. Or you're 150 meters out, you got your iron ready to go, and you hit this absolutely perfect little tight draw in, bounces on the flag, skips about 2 meters forward, and then zips back to a foot. It's going to be a tap in. Which shot do you prefer?
Oh, give me the 7-iron every day.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to say the driver for sure.
Which shot do I prefer? Well, it's probably hard to answer. Which shot do I wish I had? Do I prefer?
No. Well, if you go out there tomorrow and you're going to hit both, which one do you go, oh, I wish I could do that? Like that's the one. That's the one I like the best.
Yeah, no, the 7-iron. Like, yeah. If you can hit, how to analyze this for the people. If you're hitting every set fairway like a frozen rope, good luck. But the fair chances are you're hitting somewhere in some degree of wider dispersion, some in the center, some out wide, some left, some right. And then every whatever one's going to be dead. But most of them are in play. So, if you're saying 7-iron comes in with a little bit of a draw, bounces, checks, and lands somewhere, I'm taking those every day.
Yeah, I agree with you. That would be the dream factory. Now the last one, I left the biggest one to last. Now again, you're going to need to use your brain a little bit. So this is going to be a Pro-Am invitation.
Okay? I've had a few of those in my time.
You've had a few, right? Yeah. But these aren't probably ones you're going to get. Well, you might get one of them, but you won't get the other one because it's already passed. You're getting a Pro-Am invitation in a Pro-Am invitation. We'll just say Pro-Am invitation. But you can only pick one. 150th Open at St. Andrews or President's Cup at Peninsula Kingswood?
Oh, St. Andrews every day.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need to play Peninsula Kingswood again.
Well, the original question was going to be, which one would you be more excited for?
150th.
Still 150th. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm wearing my President's Cup hoodie. So there you go. That was this or that.
That was fun. I'm not
sure
if everyone listening has any value out of hearing this or that.
I want to hear their this or that. I want to hear the ones they've got that we didn't, that I couldn't come up with while I was working hard today. Sorry,
I was distracted there, Mike. Peggy, our podcast studio guest, was just going off to bed. She was just taking herself off to bed. So good night, Peggy. I want to hear your this and that. Hopefully you didn't think that was too self-serving, hearing me dribble on a little bit, and but that was good fun. President's Cup. Oh, look, it'd be awesome. Like, you know what I'd probably do? I'd probably find myself giving too much information. I'd be, like this.
This is where you want to hit it.
Yeah, just hit it here. Bring your caddy over. I'll tell him. When I was here, like, don't hit it left on 6. Like left on 6, that's death. You've got to go to the right of the pin.
But before we move off for President's Cup, Herbie would a bit unlucky, I would have thought.
I don't know. I don't know some of those names that are in that team.
Yeah, there's a few. I won't pick on Cam Davis because Cam Davis is a super golfer, but it feels like they've picked a golfer for the course more than necessarily golfer in form. It feels like.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, how many days he missed the cut at the Masters?
Herbie. So Herbie, there's guys on the tour team that haven't won PGA Tour events. He won
Yeah.
last year. Yeah.
He played in every major.
Yeah.
Made the cut in 3 or 2 of them. Definitely made the cut in the Open. US Open.
Might have missed in the Masters. But
I definitely missed in the Masters.
Yeah.
PGA.
He actually, you know what? I've still got them here. I can tell you because
Anyway,
I went and wrote down.
Like he's played all the big tournaments. Like how many like AWGRs did he miss out by?
No, he was in.
He was in.
He was he had a higher
like Christian Bezuidenhout.
So he was, yeah.
Like really?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good answer as to why he didn't get picked. There must have been I'm sure he got a phone call. I'm sure he would have got a phone call telling him why. I'd be absolutely shocked if he didn't. Telling him how he missed out, because there wouldn't be many good reasons as to why he missed out, in my opinion.
And to Brocket's point, Foxy
missed out. That's ridiculous as well.
Like,
he's probably one of the most informed golfers of the lot.
You just put Foxy out there as he doubles up as a security guard at night time, and then he comes out and rips someone a new one by just bombing it 50 past them and making them like Foxy's got no fear.
I thought Ryan Fox was a certainty. I thought he was a no brainer. He's probably the one that I was most shocked about. But then I thought Herbie was right on the cusp. But then there was a couple that got picked that I didn't even think they were in the mix.
We did say we talk about President's Cup in last week's podcast. But so who is run through the tell me that the internationals?
I can tell you.
But they've got some quality in there. There's quality golfers in there, but
no, there are some great golfers, but I just think
they're getting hosed.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised. So the captain's picks were Sebastian Munoz, fair enough. Siwoo Kim, fair enough. Bezuidenhout, KH Lee, yeah, okay. Cam Davis, I was probably a little bit surprised, and Taylor Pendrith probably.
What's the backstory on Taylor Pendrith? He might be the one that
he's been playing reasonable golf of late. But again, I don't think he's ever won on the PGA Tour. So I was probably a little bit surprised by that. Yeah, don't know. But then they had the scouting trip there, and Herbie wasn't on that trip, so we probably should have known that he wasn't going to be there.
Oh well.
Taylor Pendrith done this year.
Maybe would Herbie have not wanted to play?
No, he wants to play.
He wants to play.
The President's Cup put up something the other day on Instagram saying who should we pick, and Herbie wrote underneath that I've got an idea who you should pick.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
So I mean, I'm assuming he knew by that stage who was being picked. I would hope that he did. Yeah, but Taylor Pendrith, his performances this year. Players Championship 13th, Barbasol 13th, 11th at the Barracuda, 2nd at Rocket Mortgage, Wyndham he finished 13th, 68th FedEx St. Jude, and then T8 at the BMW, missed out on Tour Championship. So, yeah.
Did he play in the majors?
He did not play in any majors this year.
So didn't play in any majors.
No.
Didn't qualify for the playoffs.
No.
Had a couple of decent finishes and hasn't won.
No. Yeah.
Didn't come from the school of Metro Division 1 pennant as a 13-year-old, picking off serious adult amateurs.
He's played in one major, US Open 2020. That was it.
Herbie would be filthy.
I would think so. Yeah. Anyway, we can do a proper President's Cup catch up maybe next week, because next week I think is the event in Napa, and then the week after is President's Cup.
All right. Well, that was fun, Mike. Thank you for wanting to put another episode out. I'll do my best to get this up on the airwaves and give everyone who does tune in, thank you for tuning in. Something more to listen to from us. Appreciate all the support and your kind words and participation. Join us on Discord. You can get access to Mike. You can ask him whatever you want. Tips. It's another couple of weeks where the event's in. What do we got? Another week to we're back on PGA Tour land.
Yep, September 15th. The Fortinet in Napa. Max Homer defending.
Max Homer defending. Then Pres Cup, and then we're back into the fall season.
The fall swing. Sanderson Farms, Vegas. Then we go to Japan, and bit all over the place.
Question for the Teepsterati. Does it start back up from round one?
No, I won't start it in round one. I think it's too difficult, and I think we should start at the start of January again.
Okay,
same as last year. I think it's between now and then we're going to have a handful of tournaments, and most guys are going to be skipping it. I think it's just better to start with Tournament of Champions.
Okay,
but we'll make sure we get lots of notes out.
Cool. All right. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode of the My Love Golf podcast. If you'd like this, tell us. If you didn't like it, tell us. Thanks for listening. We'll see you then.